Hi my loves, my name is Bethany and I am the Yogi Witch. This is Luna, today's resident little yogi dog, and welcome to this brand new flow. So today we are going to be celebrating the new moon. This is the first new moon as we've moved into the darker months just after Samhain. So this is going to be a special kind of new moon little practice. We're going to take it very slow, very steady, just half an hour of kind of reconnecting with our body. So not very deep movements, only a couple of poses, but enough to kind of think and reflect on the year gone and the year ahead. So what many people might not know is that new moon is a time of release, it's a time of resetting, a time of restoring. And after Samhain, many people consider this as the witch's new year. So a time for new beginnings as we've ended the wheel. So everything now has kind of died off, the leaves, the flowers, the trees, waiting for spring to come, to kind of renew itself, to regrow and to find a bit more life. So during these darker months, it is a beautiful time of self-reflection, of thinking about your goals, thinking about your desires, thinking about your intentions, of what you'd like to welcome in, what you'd like to release, etc. So today we're going to kind of find some deep movements, some stillness, some peace, some quiet, where we can reflect on these ideas. So you might bring a journal with you, you might have some pieces of paper next to you that you can write down any ideas that can come up. But to make yourself a cup of tea, get yourself into some comfortable clothing, set your little sacred space up however you want. And when you're ready, my darlings, Luna and I will meet you back on the mat to get started. Okay, to begin my loves, you're going to come into a child's pose. Now for the flow today, you might need a couple of blocks. Don't worry if you don't have them, you can modify, you can use it without. But if you do happen to have a block, you're going to take it into the mat now. So we're going to start to wake up this third eye. Let it bring us intuition, let it bring us wisdom. So the third eye is located just between the eyebrows. Often when we get a bit headaches, we get a bit muddled in the brain, we don't really know what's going on. It always feels like it's a bit clouded here. So as it is a time for self-reflection, now we've moved into the darker months, a time for release, you're going to ask yourself a question for today's flow. Now, it doesn't have to be a crazily deep question. It could be just something you're wondering, something you need an answer to, maybe pointing you in the right direction. So you're going to think about it now, you're going to think about it throughout the flow, and we're going to see what kind of things come up. So to activate this third eye, you're going to take your block, placing it just at the top of the bridge between the eyebrows as you come into your wide-legged child's pose. So bringing those big toes together, knees go out to the side. And from here, you're going to allow those arms to relax down by your side, getting yourself nice and comfortable here. So we're going to stay in this grounding pose for a few minutes. So shuffling as much as you need to get yourself comfortable. If you don't have a block, don't worry about it. Maybe you use a book, and maybe you simply use the floor beneath. And taking those knees as wide as it feels comfortable for you. Once you've found your pose, you're going to take a beautiful deep inhale, holding at the top, and then sighing it all the way out. Just beginning our flow in this beautiful position, so grounding with the earth beneath us, through our legs, through the tops of our feet, maybe the tops of those fingers. Feeling a slight pressure into that space between the eyebrows where our third eye chakra is found. The longer you stay here, the more comfortable you get, the more you melt into this pose. We're going to hold it for just a couple more minutes. Again, reminding yourself of the question you've asked yourself for today's flow. What you need answers to, maybe a direction you want to be guided in. Keeping those inhales and those exhales nice and steady.
And if you start to feel any kind of cramps in the legs, that's okay. Just gently come out of the pose, stretch it out, and then come straight back into it. Holding a child's pose like this for a long time, especially if you've got very tight glutes, tight hips, tight hamstrings, can be a bit intense. But we want to find deep movements today. We want to hold our poses for a long time so we're able to connect deeply with our thoughts, with our heart's desires. Often, if we are in a fast flow, we're so caught up in the beauty, in the magic of the movement and our breath that maybe we don't pay too much attention to what's going on in our minds, which can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing, just depending what you're searching for. But today we're searching for those answers. As we go into the new year, we go into the darker months. So giving yourself 2 more minutes here. Keeping that inhales and the exhales nice and steady. And we're going to move out of this pose nice and slowly. So taking a gorgeous inhale. And on your exhale, hands come next to those knees. I'm just going to bring the body all the way up. From here, we're going to tuck the toes under and move to our hero's pose. So starting to get a stretch down the bottom of the feet. Just taking a little mini sip of my tea. And it's a very deep stretch for those feet, so just going to hold it for just a few moments. Those hands can rest nice and heavy on the lap as we begin to take some movement of the neck. Now, there's no particular movement I'm going to ask you to do, just anything that feels good for you. Maybe rolling, circles, nodding the head yes, shaking it now. Just imagine this head is hanging nice and heavy as you make this movement. Rolling it in one direction, rolling it in another. And then from here, we're going to take a nice deep inhale, take the hands all the way to the sky. Find those fingertips, pushing that ceiling away, open that chest. And then release the hands into your tabletop, giving those feet a little bit of a pat into the mat just to stretch out those toes. And moving any blocks, any props to the side, any four-legged friends and their toys to the side, you're simply going to drop those hips all the way to the mat, moving straight away into your seal pose. So you won't stay here too long. Just open up that throat chakra, send the head back as you inhale. And exhale, lower all the way down. Bring one hand on top of the other, giving those hips a little bit of a wiggle into the mat. Just disperse any energy here. And we want to open up the heart chakra today, especially if we've been feeling maybe overwhelmed in this moon phase, maybe a little bit sad or anxious, with one of my favorite kind of shoulder openers. So from here, you're going to bring the forehead low, open those arms into a T shape, and you're going to bend the right hand next to the chest. And from here, you're going to roll all the way on to this left shoulder, so keeping the head down. From here, if you find that it's a bit too sore for your head, you're more than welcome to pop a block or a pillow underneath your neck just to make it comfortable. Or if you'd like to go further, you can bend this top leg, bringing the foot to the mat to come a little bit deeper. If you have it even further in your practice, then maybe those fingertips find each other and you open up the shoulders a little bit deeper. This with the fingertips can be quite intense. So if it isn't for you, you don't think you can stay here long, then simply allow the left arm to relax down, right hand next to your chest, as we stay here for a few more moments. So maybe recognizing if that shoulder feels a little bit tight, a little bit sore. That's okay, depending when you're practicing it. Maybe in the morning you'll feel a little bit more stiff. In the evening you might feel a little bit more stressed. But we're going to stay here for 2 more minutes. We really want to open up the heart chakra today. So keep that breath nice and steady. Keeping those inhales and those exhales in and out the nose, my loves. Maybe checking in, maybe things are starting to come up in the mind, the question you asked, or about other aspects in your life. Start listening now. The chakras are realigning with this flow so far. The new moon wants you to release the things that no longer serves you. It wants you to live your truest and most authentic life. So give yourself 10 more breaths on this side of the body before we move to the other. Start listening in, start paying attention. Before we inhale, avoiding every 4-legged creature, you roll, extending the right arm, bending the left next to your chest, and take this pose to the other side. Again, you can bend this top leg. Maybe those fingers find each other on the back of your mat. If it's too intense, keep this right hand next to the chest. Different sides of the body feel different. So shuffle yourself, get yourself comfortable, and when you're ready, simply close the eyes. Like I said, today's flow is deep and slow and mindful, not crazy moves. After Samhain, we want to reflect. We want to see what the universe is trying to tell us. You want to rebalance those chakras after a busy year, a busy summer, a busy harvest. Feeling every inhale and every exhale. Let yourself go in these poses, my loves. Five more breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Before we inhale and exhale, gently roll back in to the mat. Just let those arms come down by your side, forehead low, just to give them a little bit of a break here. And then when you're ready, slide the hands next to your chest, roll back those shoulders, keeping the hips low. We're going to inhale into our Cobra. Exhale to bend the knees, tuck those toes and send the hip bones nice and high to the sky. But we're going to have a beautiful, generous bend in the knees now. A bit of a shorter down dog. We're looking for a bit of a more of a restorative one. As you inhale and exhale, lower the knees down, immediately slide them out to the side, flexing the feet and move to your frog pose. So starting to open up these hips, open up the sacral chakra, the solar plexus. So we're going to stay here for just 10 breaths. It's quite an intense pose. Remember, if frog pose isn't in your practice today, then come into your child's pose. But staying here just a couple more breaths, my darlings. Before you inhale and exhale, gently pressing onto those hands, bring the knees in close, bring the toes in close, simply move to your tabletop
And we're going to take a few cat-cow stretches just to ease the spine. So on your inhale, drop that chest. Take the gaze forward, arch that spine. Exhale to curve, tuck the tailbone under. Chin comes into the chest. And just making this movement a few more times with the rhythm of your breath, forwards and backwards. Nice slow waves of this spine, my loves. And then when you're ready, my darlings, we're going to actually move to a bit of a strong pose just to activate this crown chakra. So we're going to move to our dolphin pose. So coming down onto the forearms, maybe those hands come together or maybe they find the mat, depending how you feel, how you practice. But from here, you're going to curve the spine, bringing the ears between the triceps. Take a nice deep inhale. And on your exhale, tuck those toes, lift the hip bones into the sky and walk those feet closer, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, head doesn't touch the floor, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Simply lower the knees down from here and lower the forehead. Arms are extended. It's a strong dolphin pose. It's a strong pose for the arms, for the legs. So we're going to take it one more time, but it's your choice whether or not you do it. It is completely up to you. Maybe you have a headstand in your practice and you'd rather do that to connect with the crown chakra. Or if you'd like to follow me, my darlings, roll this body back up, come onto the forearms. And then from here, curve the top of the spine, bring in those ears between the triceps and lift this body into your dolphin pose. Holding here 10 breaths. So finding a bit of silence here. Keep that breath steady. Beautiful. Lower the knees down. Find your way back to your child's. When you're ready, my loves, slide the hands next to the knees. Roll the body all the way up. Just give yourself a moment. Dolphin pose is extremely strong pose, or a headstand if you did that. Maybe just your child. So just give yourself a moment to reconnect and kind of embracing any emotions that are coming up now. Remember, this is the new moon. This is the new year of the witchcraft calendar. So just giving yourself a chance here to reset, restore before we come into the final deep pose of our fish pose. So if you'd like just your classic Shavasana, just lying flat on the mat, then I invite you to do so. Remember, this is your body, this is your energy. Or if you want one final deep back bend, maybe use one block, maybe you use two. But bringing these blocks to the mat, you're going to find the space between the shoulder blades, just above from the lower spine, near the neck, to come into your fish pose. So if you use one block, you can use that, maybe use two, depending on how deep you want to go. But once you've found your pose, relax the head down, roll back those shoulders. Like I said, it is a super deep pose here. Open up this throat chakra, letting us find our voice, head. All the chakras are aligned in this pose. The root, the sacral, solar plexus. heart, throat, third eye, and crown. So we're going to stay here for 1 more minute, depending how your fish pose looks. And from where you are, you're going to take a beautiful deep inhale. And on your exhale, bend the knees, and you're simply going to roll this body off, very slowly off these blocks.
Coming to your fetus pose, your little baby pose. So just lying on your side for a moment. And then when you're ready, move those blocks out of the way. And we're all going to meet back in our Shavasana here. So find your way to your pose, grab yourself jumpers, grab yourself a pillow, a blanket, anything you need. But once you've found the way there, just close the eyes. The body can hang any way we want. Any way that feels good. Just recognizing how heavy the body feels, how calm the mind is. The breath is slow and steady. Maybe acknowledging any emotions that have arisen, any question, any answers to the question you asked. The new moon is a powerful lunar phase. Sometimes it gets a bit overshadowed by the full moon. But we are at a time of reflection, of restoring, of relaxing, of resetting. Just give yourselves a few more delicious moments here. Keeping your mind within the sacred space of your mat. Safe in this universal coven that we found in the flow today. We might have come to the mat for different reasons, but we're all here looking to honor the moon, looking to find answers to questions that we seek. There's so much magic and power in knowing you're not alone. So in this moment, know that I'm sending so much love, so much magic, healing from my mat to yours, my loves, as we celebrate this new moon. if you'd like to stay here a little bit longer. Maybe you let yourself fall asleep. Then I'm sending so much love, so much light to you, thanking you for allowing me to be your teacher for today's practice. Or if you're ready to come out, you're simply going to bend one knee, bend another, and roll the body all the way to one side. Once again, coming into your baby pose for just a moment. And then keeping the eyes closed and the head heavy, you're going to bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Taking any final movements that the body craves, maybe nodding the head yes, shaking it no, anything that feels good. Before blinking the eyes open, taking one hand to the heart, taking another to the belly, and all together we're going to take a beautiful inhale through the nose. And exhale, let it all go, bowing low with gratitude here. Sending thanks to ourselves for coming to the mats, for others who have joined us today in this little coven, and from me to you, as always, sending so much love, sending so much magic, and I hope that you found the answers that you seek in today's flow. And I hope to see you again soon, my darlings. See you later. Hi my loves, so thank you for joining me on the mat today for today's new moon flow. I hope it brought you a little bit of peace, a little bit of stillness. So if you would like to explore your new moon practice further with a little bit of witchy things, then you can head over to my website www.theyogiwitch.com, where there is a brand new blog up all about the new moon, including new moon journaling prompts and a little spell. So the link is below in the bio. But I hope to see you on the mat again soon, my darlings. Sending love, sending magic.